Welding.
Do you guys have any like particular projects in mind that you would like to build with welding?
Well, my mom wanted me to build Lazy Susan.
Oh wow,
Hard.
that would be quite the project. Okay.
That was when I would like get good at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, like making it from scratch?
Mhm.
Woo.
Just like decorations everywhere and just like little things.
Uh-huh. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with that.
Yeah, that's I think of like that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah, nice. So you're going to attach a vertical piece like this. That weld kind of fills in that area like that. So this whole thing is new material that you added to the piece. But in here, it also heated up an area in here of the base. This is called the base metal. It heated that area up too in the process, and that's what you're looking for. Is for this is called the penetration, how deeply it penetrated into the metal, and you want it to penetrate a good amount. Daniel, what's your favorite part of welding so far? Of what you've done?
The actual welding part.
Uh-huh.
And like putting stuff together.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool getting two pieces of metal to become one, huh? Can you show me, kind of point to the different parts of your weld and show me the parts that are good or bad and kind of why they are that way?
This part's bad.
Why is that?
Not enough of the wire going to it.
Uh-huh.
And this part there's like this part there's too much.
Mm-hmm. What does the gun feel like when there's too much wire? What is
like
it? How does it behave?
Kicking, kind of.
Yep, kind of jerks and kicks back.
Mhm.
What does it sound like when there's too fast a wire speed?
Sounds like a bunch of crackling.
Yeah, really loud
Yeah.
crackles and sparks. What's the sound you're looking for a good weld?
Like baking and sizzling.
Yep, perfect. So first I'm going to go too little, so there's not enough wire coming out. And then I'll turn it up too much, so there's too much wire.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And then I'll turn it back down, so we get that smooth bacon. And now you'll get to keep all this metal, so you'll have a way to remember, oh, this is what it looks like when there's too much, and this is what it looks like when there's not enough. And that's just right. Awesome. Can you show me the back side of that plate and kind of point out what kind of penetration you're looking for?
Right here, the change of color.
Yeah, so the color changed, but it didn't like actually melt through. It changed the color, and it got rid of that mill scale, that coating from the steel mill, but it's actually it didn't it's not sagging through. Like right there, it started to actually bubble through. So that's a little on the hot side.
Oh yeah.
Could you show me that trick for how to tell if something's too hot to touch or not?
You go like that, and if it's hot, that means you don't touch it. And if you do it and it's it's not hot, then that means it's okay.
Uh-huh. And so you can do it for a little bit longer the next time?
Yeah.
Yep, nice. Can you show me on your on this plate here, can you show me which of the welds you were traveling too fast?
This one I was going a little too fast on that one.
Uh-huh.
And that one a little.
Uh-huh. Yeah, those were all a little bit on the fast side. What's the show me a really good weld section.
right here, like
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, that's like perfect, where it's
Mhm.
blended in pretty well to the surrounding metal and it doesn't mound up too high. How do you get rid of this smoky stuff that goes on
Scratch
Metal.
it about this thing.
there? Yeah, just brush it off with a wire brush. Can you show me with the welding helmet how you put it on and get it adjusted?
Okay, and you put it in the front and then put it down. Tighten it up like this. And push down to twist it.
Perfect. How does the helmet know when to get dark?
If it sees a really bright light, then it'll darken around it and then show the light.
And then how does the battery keep from dying? There you go.
Should I take it out?
Sure.
There's a solar. This part, it's charged by the sun or
Uh-huh.
any light, and it's solar panel.
Yep.
And these you need to keep them from getting like dusty and stuff, or it won't be able to see it.
And then how do you adjust how dark the helmet is when it goes dark?
These numbers, the 9 makes it lighter, and if you change it down to the 13, it gets darker, and the surroundings get darker, and then the light is bright, still bright.
Do you want to show me how the wire gets out of the machine?
What? It comes out through here and into here, and then goes through there, and you push it to make more wire come out. So, and right here, it shows you the speed and how hot it should be.
What does this paper towel here do?
The wire, it gets dusty and sometimes, and it gets junk on it, and when the wire goes through this, you clamp it on and it wipes it off, so it won't get dirty and it won't clog up the tube. And right
Perfect.
here.
When your ground clamp is like this little cheap alligator clip like you find on jumper cables, this can often be a culprit when your welds aren't turning out the way they should, or when you're getting an intermittent weld, like when it's going zzz, 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 and it's not consistently coming out like sounding like frying bacon. So a way you can solve that is, one method is to replace your ground clamp with one more like this, where it's a big solid piece of bronze or brass or whatever this is, and it has a lot of surface area to connect with your metal. It also has a really strong spring in it, so there's a lot of clamping pressure. That's one way. Or if you're stuck with using what you have, one of these little cheapies, one thing to note is on these, often the wire will actually be bolted only to one half of it, and the other half depends on electricity flowing through this rivet, which may or may not flow consistently. So try to end up with this, the leg of the clamp that has the wire on it. Try to have that actually connected on the actual metal that you're welding. So if you're clamping like this, this is a metal table, so it's not as big a deal. But if you're like this, the wire is connecting to the bottom of the table, and then the electricity has to come up around to the top and then into the metal piece. Whereas if you turn it over, then the same part of the clamp that the wire connects to is connecting directly to your work piece, and so you'll get a better electrical connection. Another way to improve the connection, because if you look at it, the points of contact on this are really only these 4 corners right at the top, at the front of it, and that is really lousy for electricity to flow through, especially at the amperage we're using. So what you can do is you can strip some copper wire and get so it's nice clean copper, and you can kind of make a little bird's nest and tuck it into the clamp when you clamp it onto the workpiece. And so you can end up, you can go like this, so now you have hundreds or thousands of little contact points here instead of just those 2 or 4 little lousy contacts that can burn out. You have tons of connection there, You can do the same thing with kind of, it's still flexible stranded wire, but it's not as fine. You can still bend that over itself and clamp onto that like so. Or you can use this stuff, which is basically a bonding strap for like automotive, for grounding your engine to the frame of your car. You can use a piece of this stuff to wrap just around the top and bottom of your metal. Put it in the jaws of the alligator clip, and then clamp on there. And then another way you can improve it is use some vice grips or a clamp like this, or even a plastic spring clamp like this, and you can just add clamping pressure to this clamp so that it's getting a really nice tight bite onto that base metal, so you can get a really good connection. Another option is you can use the clamp if your clamp that you're clamping your work with to the table. If that is a good, nice, solid metal to metal connection, you can ground the clamp, which then connects to the workpiece. That's another way to ground. It's not always the best way if these connections are bad at all, but this is set really, really tight, and especially if you added some clamping pressure here, that's a really good way to get a really solid electrical connection there, so you don't have a poor ground.
Huh? Nice. So smile briefly, and then you don't feel anything. So you can like do it for a tiny bit longer until you know that okay, it's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Good job, guys. Let's do a quick. I'll video you guys. Remember I talked about like telling your future selves how to succeed at welding. Let's do a little bit of that.